Hey everyone, welcome to my readings and healings. My name is Robin. If this is your first time watching, I'm using my tarot and angel card deck. And if you'd like to see more readings and free healings, etc., you can go onto my YouTube channel, and that's underneath my playlist. That's where you'll find all of my stuff. I've been going on there live as well, so it's my intention to grow that channel. So if you could subscribe, that'd be great. If you would like me to pull you guys up a card, I will do that for you as well. Just say please, and that's all you need to say. If you do have a specific question you'd like me to go into, I will. I'm not going to be on here for very long, and because I have lots of stuff going on. And if you haven't liked my Robin's Healing Herbs Facebook page, I'd really appreciate it as well. That's where I'm going to be posting more products. I'll be doing lives on there. Good morning. The topic as well, aside from card pulls, is letting go. I was feeling a tremendous amount of sadness today, but I felt it yesterday, and I've been really feeling this strong depression energy, and I know it doesn't belong to me. So if you relate to depression, sadness, grief, loss, etc., also, you can just say, yes, I do, I relate, give me a heart, something like that. Because this mental health is a serious thing. It's something that, especially as an empath, as a sensitive person, it's really important that we know whose sadness we're feeling when we're feeling it, if you're a person who can pick up on that. Hi, good morning, Bonnie. And I know that you are one of those people. So again, if you're hopping on, you'd like a card, just say please. If you relate to what I'm saying, just say that you relate. That's fabulous that I understand that there's other people that get it. I got a heart. Okay, great, Kathy, thank you. So Sarah's the first one to say she'd like a card. But it's so important that we're able to cleanse and clear this emotional, I'm going to call it baggage, because nobody deserves to be sad. There's too many good things going on in life right now to be sad. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, I often do free stuff, as I said, on my YouTube. You can scroll through there. You can find things. You can find things on here. Go back to videos. It doesn't matter when. Receive the downloads, the Theta Healing downloads that I offer, especially with the recent new moon. Okay, so yeah. I'm just gonna, as I said, I'm coming on quickly, so I guess I better make sure I tend to this. So Sarah, first thing we get is Three of Pentacles, okay? And you did hop onto my live earlier, which is great, so thank you for doing that. Thanks for participating and commenting. Well, what's interesting is Peppermint was coming up for you, right? And I almost reached out, and then I didn't. I hesitated. And it's interesting because finances are in here, and it's saying that when we have time off, when we have breaks in our schedule, things like that, you really want to seize the day, take advantage of the opportunity. So that does mean sometimes spending money, because when you work, you're making money, but when you break, you have a day off. You want to be able and feel comfortable to spend money, to enjoy your day, to have fun, to not think about all those things, because then you have to go back to work. And I feel like this is going to connect to somebody else as well when we think about the energy of retirement and how we can stop living in the now because we're thinking too much in the future. So we really want to make sure that we're getting the most out of our days when we have days, okay? So my birthday is tomorrow. I took the day off on my schedule. It says closed, and it feels so good. Same thing this weekend. I've decided I'm not taking any clients. I'm not working this weekend. If I choose to, I choose to, but for the most part, I'm like gonna close off, right? So that's gonna make sense to you, I know it. And again, you can look up these cards online if you want and see what other messages you get. Card, please, Lynette says. Okay, so again, we're just talking about heaviness energy. So another way that we can, I've been doing yoga underneath my yoga playlist as well, coming on and doing live yoga. So that's kind of what's coming up, is when we carry energy in our physical body. Okay, so notice that. If you notice there's tension in your shoulders, ask yourself, what am I doing to fix this, to change this? That's super important, because the Eight of Cups is coming up here, okay? Departure. And this is us walking away from something that's not serving us. But if we've been doing the same repetitive things, habits, patterns, same types of people we've been attracting, everything just feels like it's like, okay, maybe it was working out for you before, but at some point, this pattern of behavior stopped working and you continue to do it because it was a pattern. And this is saying that this is long-term energy that you're walking away from, which is fabulous. So that means with this new beginning, this new moon energy, you're like, this is serious stuff for you, and it's serious stuff for me as well. So this could relate to a relationship, right? Sometimes we have long-term relationships we're walking away from, and it's emotionally difficult. But regardless, that's what I'm saying. Take care of your physical body and notice where you can make changes as well, because that's really important. The reason why we often carry tension on like more on the left side or more on the right side is just, again, it's how we're even using our brain. So if you're super logical, you want to start tapping into the intuitive. If you're super intuitive, you want to tap into the logical. So I'm super intuitive, so I'm trickling over into the logical right now, right? Creating these beautiful financial foundations for myself so I can blossom in my own life, right? Super important. Bonnie, I would love to have a card. I'm very sensitive to all of this. Yes. And what's coming up is like, sometimes we have pain from the past, and we judge ourselves so harshly when we get healings, or even sometimes when we get readings. It's how we're receiving energy. We might struggle with receiving. And I listened to a video from a teacher that I have. I'm doing a mediumship program I just started yesterday. Finally, yay, I'm so excited. I'm going to learn the process of that. Looking for missing people, like items. I think it's called, I want to say psychometry, where we're able to go into rooms in other people's space and be able to see it, even from the past. That's coming up for some reason, Bonnie, because you probably have some gifts yourself. Not probably, you do. And so that's what's kind of coming up with you is the energy of flow. So this teacher was telling me that, and keep in mind, guys, there's messages in every single thing here for everybody. So if you just jump off, you're missing like a big part of this conversation. And again, what connects and clicks to you is most important. But I'm still feeling this heavy energy. And so what this lady was saying is, when we don't value ourselves enough, right? So we're not charging money for things. We're helping our friends out for free, stuff like that. We're creating our own blocks. So it's about putting a value on your own gifts, on your worth, on yourself, so that you can receive what you need to help you and your family, again, in your foundation, so you can go on your own vacation, so you can help more people, that sort of thing. So ask yourself, really, Bonnie, when it comes to give and take, are you blocking yourself? Are you holding back when you could be giving? Are you holding back when you could be receiving more? So females, I find, have an issue with this at some point along their genetic train, things like that, where the mother just kind of did things. And that was a very old school way. And we're not living in that day anymore. So we've got to catch up with where things are emotionally as well for ourselves. So we're not like starting to get into our own negative spiral. And I've been working with someone else who says, I'm in the rabbit hole. And the rabbit hole is basically a dark place, even though there's lots of light. We choose a dark place in some ways because we feel like we need to isolate. We feel like we're not loved. We are having a hard time receiving that. So again, send me a heart or something. Let me know, does this relate to you or anybody else that you know, where we choose to go into the rabbit hole? And there's a difference between doing universal connection, meaning we're getting healings and readings so we can shift and grow, so we can understand, where we can work on. But as I said, we can't be hard on ourselves about it and allow that to take us down. So when we're sensitive, we need to work on gentle energy. Be with people who are kind, like yourself, right? So if we're surrounding ourselves with people who have tons of problems, but deep down we're really positive, then it's kind of like, okay, we have to balance this energy, right? So that's why we have to think about who we want to attract into our life. So that's why this is saying, Bonnie, new beginnings. It's time. You already know this, which is fabulous. Please, Robin. Okay, yep, no problem, Kathy. Okay, also feeling this, like everybody's is carrying some tension in their shoulders, okay? So just be mindful of that. When we have tension in our shoulders, and again, this is my opinion, okay? You guys are allowed to have your own opinions and you can share them right here on our thread, and I think that that's fabulous. So that I'm just giving my 2 cents, right? Everybody has different versions and perceptions of it's their thoughts, and they shift, right, as we grow. So as I learn things, in a few years, I'll look back and think, oh my goodness, that was an older version of me, right? And I was growing and changing at that time as I'm having a birthday and getting older. So, but we want to embrace the wisdom and knowledge that we have through age and see that as a positive, as I was already discussing with the energy of retirement, right? Living in the present, but being mindful, logic versus intuition. So Kathy, as we're talking about like heavy energy, we have the devil. Let's let that go. And it's attached to the word freedom, okay? It's when we create our own blocks, right? And often it's because if we have any teensy-weensy bit of anxiety, typically anxiety is carried again in the chest because we've had past things that have happened and we don't want those things to happen anymore. So we put up our wall. We create a wall, which is a block, because we want to make sure that we can stay safe, right? So we don't get hurt. So these things don't happen again. So we take the learning lessons, which is fabulous, which I know that you're doing. But then we want to take the emotional energy that's hanging out in your physical body. And that's where I come into play. These are exercises that I do with people to remove the emotional energy that's attached to it. So that's what's coming up for you. You're aware of the lessons, and I know you have tons of gratitude and appreciation for everything, but it's remove the emotional blocks that are attached to those lessons so that you don't have to carry it around in your physical energy, right? So absolutely, you could inbox me, and if there was a recommendation for you of some sort in product service, I can absolutely help you if you're willing to listen. You don't have to agree to it, but if you want to agree, or there's something, even if it's a month from now, you might have an idea at least of, again, where your next step is. And I think that it's good to understand the flow and the rhythm of what's going to happen in the future. As if you listen to my reading that I did this morning on YouTube, this is going to make more sense about what I'm talking about. So I would definitely even just refer you to there. And if you haven't subscribed, I think it's silly to watch videos and not subscribe when someone is providing them. So, because it's otherwise it'll take me, 2 years to get my 2,000 subscribers versus, 20 days. So I really appreciate people that do that. Again, letting go of heavy energy. Okay, my internet's been really wonky. Love to have a card, Deanna says. Okay. I guess I didn't do you yet. How's your day going? How are you guys doing? Anyway, aside from me telling you what I'm feeling, how are you guys feeling, How are you doing in the COVID situation? Are you frustrated? Are you able to access your family? Are you in lockdown where you are? Okay, Deanna, feeling great energy from you. A lot of emotional energy in my eyes. So if you feel emotional right now, I would encourage you to identify it too with what are you happy with? What are you grateful for? What are the good things that you have going on in your life? Around new moons, we do positive affirmations. We shift over to what are the good things that are happening in my life so that we can continue to attract good things in our life. So positive affirmations, great for you. You have Page of Pentacles luck, which is interesting because that luck makes sense. There might be some fear and worry. Absolutely, you could benefit from some theta healing. But this is telling me that just the more you can just calm your energy. Also on my Instagram this morning, I posted some music that I was listening to for mantras. And just by putting that energy in the background, it's kind of bringing me into that place. It's oh yeah, yes. Just little reminders. So that's what I would say. If it's a sticky note on your mirror saying, I love you. If it's something even lucky that you put on, I'm looking at my windowsill with my plants. If you had something lucky, you kiss and like ask for something or say thank you for something. Those types of things feel really great for you, okay? And hopefully you did a new moon ritual, because that's going to make a difference, which is underneath my playlist rituals. I understand that, Bonnie says. Happy birthday. Thank you, Deanna. Appreciate that. I'm the type where I usually celebrate for 3 days, so this energy feels a bit different. Last year, it really, really sucked. It was like, I'm not going to say it was the worst birthday, because, again, it wasn't, but it's definitely, I can already feel that this birthday is a million times better in COVID than it was last year. Thank you, as my family is not around, so they're only 2.5 hours away, which is kind of silly when we can't access that, but these are border issues. Okay. Thank you. Needed that message. You're welcome, Sarah. Okay, yes, I completely received that. Thank you. You're welcome, Bonnie. I do. Bonnie says, hi, Connie. You've been actually on my mind. So thank you for saying hi. Hope you are doing well. You're welcome, Kathy. Please inbox me on how I can remove emotional blocks. Okay, so there's, yeah. So if you mean, okay, yes. I'll inbox you, or you inbox me, okay? Remind me. Hi, Sherry. COVID needs to go so I can get to see my family in Nova Scotia, Deanna says. Yeah. I was, taking the 19th and the 20th off to go see my family, just because I'd like to have, like, a dinner and that sort of thing. I like seeing the kids grow up. Because they're all really at that stage of like walking and talking and I don't know, changing so much in such short periods of time. These would be like my nieces and nephews. I have 6 nieces and nephews all together. And currently, unless more decide that they want to show up. And yeah, it's, I put because I'm quite intuitive when I put that on my schedule, like I'm going there. I put question marks, like I was energy-wise, I was being told put question marks, because we're in this state of flux right now, and we really have to channel our own energy and trust that what our energetic body is saying too. Like, ask ourselves deep questions, like, do I really feel like intuitively this is actually going to happen, right? It's almost like the fear of getting sick. Do I intuitively feel like I'm going to get COVID? Or do I logically feel like I'm going to get COVID, right? There's a difference. And so that's where we're really working on centering ourselves and accessing that information for ourselves. So that's the key thing that I do, is I teach tools, techniques, things like that to the best of my ability to empower you guys so that you can start doing the same, because I believe we all have our own gifts and abilities. So yeah, that's important. I'm doing a past life regression May 15th. It's $250. It's around like four hours. It's 11 to 3:15, so 4 hours and 15 minutes. That's going to be a full day, so you'll get tons of information from that if it interests you. My granddaughter's 2nd birthday today. Awesome, Deanna. Yeah. I mean, we can just maximize what we have, and that's all we can do. But you already know that. Happy day of birth. Enjoy. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you for the card. Yes, message is on. Great. If, like, too. My 4 grandkids in Nova Scotia, thank goodness for video calls. Exactly. Yeah, because, I mean, imagine if we didn't have what we have now. And it's funny, my aunt lives next door to Alexander Graham Bell's estate, and I remember when I was a kid snowmobiling, like in the yard of his big place, and I thought it was so cool that he invented the telephone, right? So it's just really neat to kind of even be attached to that. Deanna says, I've been blocked since COVID hit. Yeah, I think everybody's experiencing this, and that's actually why I think I'm growing and shifting in my business so much, because yeah, it's like every person that I'm working with, it's not just like little stuff, it's big stuff. So, yeah, like I'm doing my best to come on here and offer this to you guys, and that's why it's like great to share it out because it's stuff that can help everybody. Same thing, I'm gonna keep teaching. Thank you, Bonnie. All right, so nobody else wants a card. Yeah, so just if there's somebody hopping on last minute and you want one, it's interesting. Isolation, Five of Pentacles, is the card that comes up talking about finances, and it's our mindset around money. So just remind yourselves too that energy is, money is energy. And so it's important to, again, create as much flow as you can with finances, understanding the give and takes, as we were just discussing. 10 of Cups, it's also telling us that we have tons of love, that we have all that love from our family, whether they're near us or not near us. Hi, Tracy. And so if we can always come back to that place of love, of what we do have and how fortunate we are, you know, to have our health, to have the ability to learn, to be able to come on here and access this energy, that's what brings us more abundance, right? Underneath my rituals, I have an abundance ritual. So if you're struggling with finances, watch that. Something I make an effort to do in my days anyway. King of Cups, commitment. Again, I was saying that there's some emotional energy in the eyes. This is important to release. So if you feel like you have gifts and talents and you're not exploring them, again, that's something I can help you with. But it's also important that we're not hanging on to that energy emotionally in our chest, because if we feel like, oh, I shouldn't cry, there are other people around, or I don't feel comfortable with this person to cry, it's kind of like, I get it, but at the same time, I think we get to a place where it's like, it's more important that I feel better to release this than somebody else's judgment of me, right? That's theirs and not yours, as we were already saying. Identifying with something that belongs to you and something that belongs to somebody else is probably the most important thing along the journey, is learning to cut these energetic cords with others. And that's been coming up for a lot of people. So yeah, I'm going to read these last two cards just because I have them. Angel of Abundance, the Empress, right? Really tapping into our source. If you believe in God or Creator, whatever you want to call it, and you feel like God is the true source of money, that sort of thing, if you believe that, that's a belief system, then you're kind of like, I'm going to start really, again, like manifesting some of these things instead of just dwelling, instead of worrying, right? It's what we're thinking about. It's what we're focusing on. If you have debt and you're like, oh, I don't have any money, it sucks. Or it's like, oh, you know what, I really know that I want this for myself, and then send that message out there, right? So I was supposed to do my vision board for my mediumship program yesterday. That was my thing I put on for myself, but today I am going to do that because we're supposed to be doing that for our business. If you want to, so the lady that's teaching me, she had her own TV show, and so she put that on her vision board. You know, she wants to be, I think it was like on the Oprah Network, like I think she's done that. You know, she wants to work with international people. Now she has international people, where she's teaching just from home, doing videos like myself and recordings. So, you know, all of these cool things are coming in for her, which is great. So we have to make an effort, right? So if we're complaining about stuff, the question is, what are you doing about it? That's what I kind of say. Okay, be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem, right? So when I'm like, you might feel like if I'm saying something negative, it's how we interpret things as well. Understanding that we're not perfect, but we also have to find balance in, okay, some days I want to work on my faults, do that shadow work, and some days I just want to go super gentle and easy on myself and, you know, create more of like a spa-like feeling for myself, where I just pamper myself and tell yourself, you're pretty, and listen to comedy, you know? It's okay to be in that up and down energy. So, 3 of Swords, heartache, Okay, this is telling us, it's going back into the eyes, that it's better, now this is a belief as well, that it's better to see the truth, to be open to seeing the truth, than being someone who wants to be in denial and pretend like nothing's existing. So say your husband's cheating on you, and you secretly kind of feel that, or even might know that, and you're just like, yeah, okay, well, it's not a good time to really separate because, you know, we have grandchildren and, you know, we have 2 houses or whatever, you know, that would be a pain in the tushy, right? So I would rather just keep this more to myself than really be open and honest with myself and with others, because of, you know, the fear of what other people will think, and going back into all that same energy. So this is telling us it's okay to like want to explore the truth, your truth. You know, what's coming up for me recently is the veil, that it's like opening up the veil, meaning there's this person kind of hiding, right? Fear of what other people will think when I talk about God, or what other people will think if, I don't know, they don't like something, right? And it's like, it's kind of that, so what? So what? So we want to get into the mindset too of, again, being aware, but let's start thinking about the best case scenario, right? Instead of, oh my gosh, this isn't working out. Well, what could the best case scenario be, right? Visualize that. People being allowed to hug each other again, people being able to feel like make out with strangers again on a dance floor because they're boogieing, whatever it is. It's like, it's the human contact. See the human contact coming back in, feel the human contact coming back in, because the mind is very powerful, and when we can visualize and create with the mind, it can be it can almost come into our physical bodies. So if you're not feeling like you get enough affection or love and things like that, there's a million and different ways right now that we can get that realistically. In my bodywork sessions that I'm offering, foot reflexology, body reflexology, Indian head massage, facial reflexology. This is even having these doing crystal work, like getting a Reiki session. Like there's so many going to a massage therapist. I had a beautiful like facial yesterday from Stiletto Spa, and highly recommend going to her. She did some, I think it's like dermaplating. She put a beautiful like natural mask on me. She massaged my hands, my feet, made me feel so special. It was a great conversation. You know, the music was great. I could hear birds in the background, and it just took me to a different place. So again, like we all need that, right? There's, depending on where you live, there's still tons of things that we can do. So just keep that in mind. How are you looking at situations? Are you seeing things the way that they are, or the way that you want them to be? Or are you dwelling? Okay, so that being said, reach out to me if you would like to book something. Again, you can just book online, robinshealing.com, and I have a booking system that way. It makes it super easy so that so we don't even have to have a conversation. But again, if you're inquiring about specific things in relation to like a service or a product, you can absolutely ask questions. That's fine. But again, it's just for people that are, purchasing things. Otherwise, take advantage of the free resources that I have on your own time. Cool. We all need me time. Absolutely. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sharing it out.